Japan's wartime sexual slavery issue, an unresolved matter not just in Korea but around the world. In 2015, the administration under the now impeached corrupt leader Park Geun-hye reached a deal on the issue with Tokyo behind closed doors without the consent of the victims and their families. President Moon Jae-in created a task force to review the flawed accord. For our news features tonight, Unshin delves deeper into why Japan conveniently pushed the agreement as final and irreversible.
It is the world's longest-running rally on a single theme. People of all ages have assembled for the Wednesday demonstration for a quarter of a century now.
It's another sizzling August day, but that didn't stop these people from coming out here in front of the Japanese embassy in Seoul. This public gathering, which takes place every Wednesday, demands a proper resolution of the issue of Japan's wartime sex slavery of Korean women.
There's a sense of agony and sorrow among the crowd, and it peaks when it's the victim's turn to speak.
As a Korean woman, I feel their pain. I owe my participation in the protest to the victims.
To receive a proper public apology along with legal reparations, there needs to be more activities of this kind.
Still, after some 70 years, it's an unbearable scar the victims have to live with, and a source of diplomatic tension between Seoul and Tokyo. It's said that up to 200,000 women, mostly Korean, were sexually enslaved by Japanese troops during World War II. Despite Tokyo's denial of evidence of such atrocities, in July, for the first time, footage of Korean victims was revealed by Korean researchers, on top of decades' worth of collections of documents, photos, and testimonies. A 20-second video filmed by an American shows 7 barefoot women outside a break house, said to be a military-run brothel in Songshan, China in 1944. The area had just been reclaimed by the U.S.-Chinese allied forces from the Japanese.
Evidence is important, but Japan fails to acknowledge this as a wrongdoing because Korea was under Japan's colonial rule from 1910 to 1945. So their perception is that Koreans served the Japanese people as a colony should. In the same context, Japan is refusing to recognize their military abusing their own women as a crime.
Just recently, a Korean institute disclosed Japanese police reports of the military recruitment of sex slaves targeted towards Japanese women. Researchers say when Korean women were the victims, the treatment would have been even more dehumanizing.
To resolve the issue, Korea needs to make Japan acknowledge that from the beginning, the colonization of Korea was an act of defying international law. Global organizations like the UN recognize this already. So bringing more testimonial documents to the surface, Korea needs to alter Japan's reasoning.
Japan gave some $9 million to a Korean fund for the victims and families of Japan's wartime atrocity through a so-called Comfort Women deal reached in 2015 between the two nations. But Korean citizens are far from content, and the current Moon Jae-in administration plans to review the accord made under the previous government.
What's of the utmost importance in resolving sex crimes is an apology that comes with an acknowledgement of the crime, and that this was committed in a collective, organized scale. Without that, it's not an apology, it's just rhetoric, and sufferers can't accept that.
The UN Committee Against Torture recommended the two countries revise the deal so the surviving victims are provided with the right to truth, reparations, and assurances of non-repetition. But the responses from Tokyo stays the same, that the deal is irreversible and final. And so, the rally continues in Seoul.
I've been rallying for 26 years. All we want is for Japan to show remorse, asking for forgiveness in front of the media, a valid, sincere apology to reinstate our integrity, and we will forgive them. For however long it takes, I will be here, and we will continue to fight until the government of Japan yields.
In July, Korea mourned another passing of a victim, Kim Gun-ja, leaving the number of registered surviving victims now at just 37. And protesters are out again, determined to bring peace to those suffered through such brutal times.
It's important for young Koreans to come to the rally to be enlightened on the historical issue and to pass on the rally spirit. This is a matter that my generation needs to carry through.
어떠한 일이 있어도 일본 정부로부터 사죄와 명예를 회복시키고
Unshin, Arirang News.